My name's Lindsey Fryer and my company is Tate Liverpool. Tate Liverpool's part of a family of 4 Tate galleries. Tate Britain was the first in the late 1900s. Tate Liverpool was the second Tate gallery to be established in 1988. Then we have Tate St Ives in 1993 and Tate Modern in the year 2000. So Tate Liverpool is quite crucial to the development of the Tate family as a whole. A typical day could be anything from me managing team members. For instance, I directly line manage 4 of my team. That's Programme Manager for Children and Young People, Programme Manager for Community and Public Learning, an Interpretation Curator, and that person writes all of the texts that you see in the gallery, and the Team Assistant. So I directly line manage those people, so I could be having meetings with them to plan their progress, to look at income strategy for the team, to look at partnership development, etc. But also, within the same day, I could be meeting Mersey Care NHS Trust, who we have an amazing partnership with, on Alice in Wonderland exhibition. And I could be meeting colleagues from around the country. I could be hosting an international visitor. I could be planning budgets for next year. So although that might sound a bit chaotic, we have to be very kind of flexible in the kind of approach that we take to managing the organisation and managing the team. So though there isn't a typical day, it's challenging and I enjoy it, and I quite like it being like that. Honestly. If students are considering applying to our organisation, they need to be mindful really of the fact that we are not just a UK brand but a global brand in the arts and culture. So if you're applying to Tate, you're competing on an international stage. We get applications from all over the world, as far as China, Japan, America, even for some of what you might call sort of not necessarily the high-level posts and some of the mid-level posts. We're getting a huge range of applications. We get applications like that because people are applying online. And of course we're advertising online. And so it's a global market, really. Our workforce is increasingly diverse, and if you're, there are many career opportunities. So if you're applying, you can apply to be an exhibitions curator or a learning curator, or you could apply in visitor experience and operations, finance and accounting, fundraising. There's a whole host of jobs that aren't necessarily needing an arts degree or require that level of knowledge and understanding. So it's a bit of a kind of mix. We also have art handling, and in London there's a conservation department. So if you have a science degree, for instance, conservation is a wonderful way to kind of get into a different kind of sector. So there's quite a lot of opportunity. We're like any other business, really, and we have all of those departments that make a business run. We have them at Liverpool and not just centrally in London as part of Tate. What I'm looking for in a graduate is someone who is totally committed, someone who understands the sector, someone who has creativity, ideas and the ability to deliver. I want someone also who is committed to the work of Tate, so they should absolutely know what our business is, and you can find that out by various means. I need team players. I need people who get on with other people. In the area of learning and participation, not only do we work across all departments, we're working with external partners, everything from education to community arts to the health sector to universities, for instance, but also we're working with a lot of individuals that we have to influence. So we need people who can really relate to other people on a whole range of different levels. If you're wanting to apply to any Tate or any arts and cultural organisation, do your research. You absolutely need to understand what Tate is, what we do, how we do it. And you can do that by ringing us up and coming and talking to us. You can do that by also looking at the whole sector, going to as many arts venues as possible, If you want to be in this sector, you need to know about it. So if you're applying, just saying things like, I've always liked art, isn't going to cut it. The amount of times I've seen that on an application form and I've just dismissed it completely. You know, anyone can like art, but what we want to know is whether you know the sector, whether you found out about the sector, and whether you understand what the sector can offer you. Because it is a two-way process. It's not all a one-way giving. We're looking for people who really want to build their career in the sector. Once you get to interview, if you're lucky enough to get to interview, bearing in mind there's huge competition, I would really make sure that you treat it like any other business. Coming to the arts and cultural sector, sometimes people think, oh, I can kind of dress down, you know, they're creative people, they'll understand. But like any job, you're making a first impression. And that first impression is about, this is who I am, you can have confidence in me. And also the ability to listen is very important. Listen to that question and really think about that question. And you should have prepared to the nth degree before you come, and you should have practiced. And so that you can back up what you're saying with real proven experience or the potential to do well in that area. So what we're looking for really is, how can you use your skills in one area and transfer them to what we need? And that will be in the job description. So it's very clearly, when you're applying in a written application and when you get to interview, it's about how you can give us confidence that you can do the actual job and the tasks within the job to the best of your ability. You know, it's about, what do we need and can you deliver it to us? If you're applying to Tate, what will give you the edge is if, as I said before, you know the sector, and there are many ways that you can get to know this sector. You can be a volunteer in any museum and gallery. They take volunteers and they train volunteers. So it's a good way to get in. Also, in terms of other sectors related to the arts and cultural sector, for instance, all those partnerships that we have in all different spheres, whether it's prison and probation, whether it's social services, whether it's the health sector, whether it's education. If you can volunteer in your local community or within a city or a larger organisation, then do so. Take every opportunity open to you. That's what I would advise, really. But also programmes like Young Tate. A lot of arts organisations have youth programmes. Young Tate is a particular well-known strand of our programme. We invite young people of all ages, particularly we have graduates within Young Tate, who work with us as a participant, if you like, but while they're a participant, they're actually learning the business of the gallery. So for instance, they're programming events for other young people. And in order to do that, you have to learn how to project manage, you have to learn how to do a budget, you might be actually fundraising, you'll be working with our marketing team, so on and so forth. Young Tate, for example, put on an exhibition from the Tate collection last year with partners from Pompidou in Paris, from Chiasma in Helsinki, and from Tate Britain. So they've been working with those arts organisations as participants, but programming exhibitions, events, writing the catalogue, doing the marketing. So Young Tate is a good opportunity in other young people's programmes, potentially in other arts organisations, can have that opportunity. And sometimes our young people go on beyond Young Tate and go on to work in the arts because they've had that really good professional training, if you like, but they've also had the experience. So that's a good way of doing some kind of volunteering in a different kind of way. But also we offer placements to university courses, and we offer internships. In the future there will be paid internships. However, that means we can do less because we don't have the funds to support necessarily. So again, there'll be a lot of competition for internships. So anything that you can do that gives you the edge in terms of experience and knowledge is absolutely perfect. That will give you the edge in working in any organisation, but just particularly in working in Tate. If you're undertaking the World of Work programme and getting the certificate, you're already ahead of the game, because what we're looking at here is really knowledge of business skills. We look at business planning, we look at project management, we look at event management, all of those things that are transferable from one sector to another, but can very particularly be tailored to the world of arts and culture. So anything that you can do to develop those skills and then potentially apply them gives you the edge, and it will give you the edge that no other university will kind of give you. And you have a wealth of arts and cultural organisations, not just Tate, in Liverpool and the Merseyside region. So it's a really unique selling point that you need to be taking advantage of. In application, if we see that you have achieved in that World of Work programme, we will be very clearly able to see that you've reached a level of knowledge and understanding about yourself, about the sector that you want to go into, but also what we see is a committed individual who really wants to achieve, and we like those people because they'll achieve not just for themselves but for us.